Creature Commandos is over. DC's first phase, God of Monsters, is officially established. Apparently, Marvel is ready to recast T'Challa, and we have so much more in cinema and gaming to talk today on Fandomentals. Hey.
Hello.
How are we feeling today?
I am feeling superb.
You sound a
It's
lot
another
better.
dictionary word for you today.
It's superb. Nice.
Superb.
Oh man. So we got quite a bit in Marvel to cover today. You ready to kick into some Marvel?
Let's get it.
So, Cynthia Erivo has been on the big screen lately, and she does not want to disappear anytime soon.
That's
So,
good.
yeah. So she is actually, verbally telling, people that, hey, I want to be your Storm in the MCU. So, curious, what is your thoughts on this? She obviously can act. I mean, she's proven that in
Oh yeah.
Wicked and other things, but Wicked,
Mhm.
especially most here recently. But
Mhm.
what's your thoughts on this? What would you think? You think she could pull off a Storm, or she the,
Oh.
or
Oh
is she
yeah.
the Storm that you would want to see?
So honestly, like I'm fine with whoever plays Storm.
Hmm.
Like I'm happy with that. I think like Halle Berry is always going to be my Storm because
Right.
that's who I grew up with. Um, Not saying that she can't come back, 'cause she definitely can. Still, she got the body for it. Goddamn. But like I think that uh Cynthia would definitely um do justice to this in general.
Mhm.
Because she did really well in Wicked, and she can act, she can sing, she has the chops to be demanding, I think, on a stage and
Sure.
on the screen. So I think that she could definitely pull it off. Now there are a couple of other people that we could fan
Yeah.
cast.
Yeah. I
But first, what is your thoughts on her playing Storm? Like, would you be
so,
okay with it?
so obviously, like, she can act. I mean,
Hmm.
my God, she can act. There's no doubt in that. I just don't necessarily think I want to see her as Storm in the MCU though.
Hmm.
Like just me personally, do I wanna see her in other projects? Yeah, for sure, most definitely. But I mean, when you're such a big fan of certain things, and like I know you're a big fan of Storm, you're probably just excited to be getting a Storm back on the live screen, to be honest with you. But
I'm excited for Storm at any point in time. Can be animated, as we saw with
yeah,
What If.
right,
I
right,
was
yeah,
like geeking all the way out about it,
yeah.
and I know X-Men 97's coming out with the
Oh
season
yeah.
2. So I'm excited about that. Um,
I
I
think
I'm ready for all of the Storm. Just
yeah, for sure. And like if they cast her as Storm, am I gonna be like, oh my God, I hate it? No, I mean, like, I'm sure I'll embrace it. I'm sure she'll do well. But if I had a choice, uh, no, she's not my go-to. So I personally hope not. Nothing personal against her. Uh,
hmm.
I just would rather see maybe another person or two. But
Okay.
that be
So
that be it.
who
Yeah.
would you want then?
So right off the top bat, I mean the probably the only person like I prefer, and this is someone who's done acting, not like a whole lot of acting. She's also in the music world, and I'm not even sure how you properly say her name, but like her name sounds very French, and I think it is French,
Mhm.
right?
Yeah,
So
yeah. It's got the little accent on the A, so it's
okay, cool,
Janelle
cool.
Monáe.
Okay, Janelle Monáe. So, like, for some reason, I'll say Janelle Monáe, and then I'll say Janelle Monáe. Like, I don't know.
No.
I don't know why. I love messing around with French accents. Just Pepe Le Pew's, been established in my childhood ever since then. Like,
Yikes.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. And I know that's like a very not French, but French. But
Yep.
yeah. Uh,
Stereotypical French, if
yeah,
you will.
stereotypical. There we go. But Janelle Monáe, yeah. Here's some fan art of her. I think she is a great actress. I would love
Mhm.
to see her portfolio in the acting world. I think
Mhm.
would be huge if she got this role. I think she could deliver it. Where I really loved her acting, and I seen something that she was in was, I think it was back in 2020. It's an Amazon. It was made by Amazon Prime, and it's a series, and I think it's only one season is all they had, but it's
Mhm.
called Homecoming.
Okay.
It's like, I think you would call it a psychological thriller.
Mhm.
If you haven't watched it, watch it. It's so good. I'm not going to
Yeah.
spoil anything about it. I'm going to leave you wondering, because it's wild that I think it was talked about when it first came out, but it died off, like, the talk about it really quickly. I don't know
Mhm.
why, but it's so good. Like, if you haven't watched it, it definitely is a must-see one time at least. But,
Yeah, I
yeah,
haven't seen her in that, but she did come out with that movie Antebellum,
okay. I've not
where
seen that.
she was a great actress in that, and she was like the main actress in it.
Okay.
And then you saw Knives Out, right? Like with
Yes. Yes, yes, yes.
okay, cool. So Knives Out had a sequel that is before this next one that's supposed to be coming out. It's called Glass Onion that came
So,
out on
I've not seen
Netflix.
that one yet.
Okay, well, she is all up in it because she's also
Okay.
one of the main actresses, and she did a phenomenal job. Um, I'm not gonna spoil it for you because
Okay.
like there's twist about her. So,
I love the first
um,
Knives Out, so I'm sure I'll love that one.
yeah, it's actually really good. Um, I love Daniel Craig, and
Yes.
she was phenomenal in it. There was like a couple of photos that I was gonna choose for her for like showing off like her physique and her like the amount of like just demand that she has on a screen when she's in it.
Uh-huh.
Because she just looks fabulous in these like ballroom gown looking. They're not ballroom gown, but like the dresses that she wears are just beautiful. She's got like this
Right.
pool dress, and I'm like, oh, if I could only. But I have like no reason to wear that. So yeah. But somebody else other than Janelle Monáe,
Okay.
um, that I had thought about is Issa Rae. So Issa Rae, if you guys have never seen, she's on this HBO
Okay.
show called Insecure, and phenomenal actress. Also, she made me feel like so many things. That show itself is amazing, and she's the director and like or producer or something like that of that show. Like she wrote it. That is her baby.
Oh,
Um,
I need to see this. I haven't
and
seen that either.
it's beautiful and it's over. So like
Um,
you'll have like I think 4 seasons or
oh,
something
so
like that.
I can
Maybe
binge it then.
yeah.
Yeah.
It's all out. Like all of it that it will ever be out is out. So y- it's a great show. Um, and she's really great in it too. And then since then she's kind of like just blossomed, kind of like not that she hasn't been always beautiful, but
Right.
like she's on these like magazine like covers now of like Vanity Fair
Oh,
and
wow.
she did like something for Barbie where she wore all pink and she would look fucking badass.
I was
And
saying
I was like, okay,
visually, just from the picture, not knowing her, I mean, she could definitely
yeah,
pull off a storm.
right. Well, I chose that photo for a reason because it's a very flowy, like she's
Right,
got like
right.
kind of yeah. So when I thought of Storm and when I was looking at all these Issa Rae photos this morning to
Uh-huh.
grab one for my fan pick, um, I found that one. So the one that you chose is definitely already up there because Janelle Monáe actually has said that she is so down to play Aurora Monroe.
I
Um,
hope she gets it. Like,
yeah,
I hope she is given the chance
yeah,
to. I think she could kill
yeah.
it. I really do.
Oh
And
yeah,
then
both of them have the figure already and the cut of their muscles because both of
mhm,
them work out. Like you can see that
right.
they work out.
And
So
obviously they have
I can.
the acting capabilities too, so,
Hmm. Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, 100%. So I'm here for whoever wants to play Storm. Let them have it. Let them do it. Like let's go. Let's just get it.
Let's just get them yeah, let's get them on the screen so we can see it. Let's
Yeah,
get it rolling, Marvel, come on.
yeah.
So next on the list, Sebastian Stan. So, like, in an interview recently, he was talking, and they obviously he can't be in an interview without Thunderbolts getting brought up, which he actually just won a Golden Globe, by the way. So congrats to him. I think it's his first Golden Globe.
Hmm.
But anyways, he was asked, or he was mentioning Thunderbolts. And he's like, Marvel is known for heavily using CGI, and and like most of overall their CGI is pretty good. He's like, but one thing about Thunderbolts is he's like, out of any movie that's been done, he's like, it's a lot of practical effects. He's like, so like where Marvel does explosions and vehicle explosions, because there's all kinds of street chases that we've seen in Marvel since 2008, since it started. And he's like, when you see a van blowing up or a car blowing up or whatever, he's like, we legit blew that up on set. He's like, it's there's a lot of practical effects. He's like, I think you'll notice this when you watch it. He's like, so it's
Hmm.
another thing. He's like, I'm very proud of to be, in this film particularly, compared to the other films I've been in, just because they put a lot of effort and energy into this to on
Yeah.
purpose, not use CGI. And so,
Right.
like, man, I'm so ready for Thunderbolts. Like, I'm so excited. Like, the trailers. The trailers are so freaking good. I hope we're not
Mm.
let down. I don't think we'll be let down. I love this ragtag group. I think it's gonna be hilarious.
Mhm.
But yeah, I'm excited for this.
Because you got to think of how many like camera angles they have to get in
Oh
order
yeah,
like for this one thing to blow up. Like you
yeah,
know how much money that costs, right? So
right.
then you got to make sure you have like 20 different cameras getting all these different
'Cause you don't
angles
want to
to.
do this more than once unless you have to. So
Mhm. Right. As we saw with Fall Guy, the movie with Emily Blunt and
yes, yes.
oh what the stunt guy.
Ryan
God,
Gosling.
Ryan Gosling. Thank
Yes,
you.
I love that movie.
Um Yeah, it's a great movie, but like as you can see with making a movie, like you want to make
Mm.
sure that, or even Tropic Thunder, if you really want to like go there with that, um, with the explosions,
Yeah.
but
I,
like when you get practical effects, you gotta make sure that you have the cameras on it because like you're gonna waste all this money if you don't
yes.
have that. So it, I don't know which one is harder, to do,
Mhm.
because CGI is just cameras, right? But also like you got to make sure you're doing the right colors. You got to make sure
Yeah.
you're
Make
getting
sure it looks
the right
real as
angles.
can
Like
be. Yeah.
exactly, exactly. So I think both are equally as hard.
Oh, yeah. So, like, I can appreciate a good CGI. Like, don't get me wrong, like, I mean, the Hulk is some good
Mhm,
CGI. So, like, I love that, but at the same time, like, the art of the practical effects, practical, everything. Like, I mean, like, kinda
mhm,
with Agatha, they really leaned heavy into, the practical effects on things and that, considering the budget that they had to work with. So, like, I can appreciate the art in both of them for sure. Like,
yeah,
I don't think neither of them are easy. But I
mhm,
think they have their own realm of respect.
yeah, absolutely. And I think that's very well said. Because yeah, yeah, it can go wrong in both ways. Like we've seen it,
Right, right. Oh god, yes. Like, that
But
looks so fake,
speaking
and that looks so AI. So
right. But speaking of the Hulk, we got some news about Captain America: Brave New World,
Yep,
isn't that
yep.
right?
We did. So,
Um,
Richard Nevins, a guest that was previously on our show and the senior writer of The Direct, wrote an article the other day, and said that it's been revealed the runtime of Captain America: Brave New World, and it's 2 hours and 15 minutes, which is 1 minute longer than Captain America: Winter Soldier. Uh, which to
of
me is
course you
one.
would know that it's 1 minute longer.
Well, Captain America: Winter Soldier to me is like probably my top MCU movie. Like, out of all the movies, that's
Mm,
that's probably my favorite. But yeah, 1 minute longer. I'm glad it's not a shortened runtime. I hate anything that's under 2 hours in MCU. I don't hate the movie, but I hate that the runtime is shorter than 2 hours. If it's between, that 2:10 to 2:30 mark, oh,
mm,
that's a golden time as long as it's a good movie. So
okay.
yeah,
Yeah, I'm hoping that I'm not sitting in theaters and I'm just like, how long have I been sitting
yeah, yeah.
here? Like,
It's like, oh my god, it's already over. And you're like, oh my god, it's already been 2 hours and 15 minutes. That's when you know it's a good movie. Fingers.
unless you're sitting there like Nosferatu for me, and I'm just like, okay, I know I've been sitting here for a while. I don't know how long I've been sitting here, but where is my
That
action?
was 2.5 hours, wasn't it?
I don't know.
I don't either.
I don't remember,
Like, I
but
I
like,
agree with you, but the cinematography was so beautiful in it.
yes,
It was
yes.
it
And
was
I'm
so
not
beautiful.
saying that like you can't have a beautiful movie and it still be a
Oh, yeah.
trash of a movie. Like,
Well, I
I
wouldn't say it's
mean,
trash. I mean, I won't watch it a lot, but
the fact that you're saying you're gonna go watch it again is insane. Like at
well,
some
no,
point
no,
in
no,
time in your
yeah.
life.
Oh, yeah, I'll probably watch it, like, a couple years from now, I'll be like, "Oh, it's Halloween. It's October." Like, not Halloween, but it's
I'm gonna
October.
go watch Van Helsing. Are you kidding me? Like rather than like watching
Uh,
Nosferatu.
so I'm not gonna lie, people shit on Van Helsing, but that is a guilty pleasure of mine that
Oh yeah, no,
I
that's
will
why I said I
forever
would go
love.
watch.
Uh,
Yeah.
oh, so you're shitting on it by saying that.
What? No. What? No. I'm saying that if I'm
I'm messing
watching.
with you.
Ah,
No, I I
okay.
I love to watch Van Helsing, like, once a year, so
I
Oh
gotta
man.
get that back into my rotation. That and
Uh,
like Nightmare Before Christmas, because it's a Halloween movie. It's also a Christmas movie, so
so
you can't go wrong with
unpopular
when
opinion, and I
watching it.
know I'm on a tangent right now. Unpopular opinion. I don't like Nightmare Before Christmas.
So Captain America: Brave New World. It did have some more stuff come out about it, because I'm not diving into that.
Uh, yeah. So yeah, Captain America: Brave New World. Seth Rollins. So let's see here. So we all know he's a wrestler. This is one of the very first leaked scenes we got months ago, and that's
He
him
had
in
so
a
much hair.
yeah. Well, he's got long hair naturally.
Mm,
So he was actually, I mean, like in that picture we just shown, he's in a Serpent Society outfit. So another
mm,
actress beside him in a Serpent Society outfit. That was like one of the very first leaked photos. As we know, there was a period where there's reshoots, and then they also brought in Giancarlo Esposito, and so he's part, I think, of the Serpent Society. He's the leader. So Seth Rollins was on a podcast the other day, this past week, and he was asked about it, and he's like, because a lot of people think there's a character that you can see just the eyes.
in the
They're like,
trailer,
yeah,
that
in the
looks like him.
trailer.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, and he's like, "That's not me." He says,
Mhm.
"So, actually, I am no longer in that movie." And what's
Yeah,
wild is, like,
he did
he's
say
like
that he got cut
him
out.
being in
Yeah.
that movie and that leak scene was, like, the most talked about thing for the longest just because it was the first thing to surface, and, yeah, he got cut out. But, like, in the podcast, he don't seem upset about it, he don't seem salty. I'm sure he would have loved to been in it, but I know he's like, "I don't know." He's like, "Whatever I tell you, it's gonna be just from my perspective." He's like, he's like, "I don't even know if my NDA is even counts now that I'm not in the movie. Do I even have an NDA?" So I still think he was careful, like what he said, but he
Yeah.
didn't seem upset about it. We're like, you've seen some actors and actresses who get
Mhm.
salty about Marvel and they're not afraid to show it, but like he seemed
Yeah.
pretty chill. If he
No,
is
I
super
think
upset, he
he
hid it
is
really well.
I think he's a professional,
Yeah, he was
and
very
where
professional about it.
yeah, so I think that he is a part of him is hurt,
Hmm.
as you
Oh
would
yeah.
be if you got casted
Oh
and you put work into something and then all of a sudden
yes.
your part's cut out and you're like,
Right.
"Yo, what the fuck, man?"
Yeah.
But like I think he's a professional enough to say like, "All right, well,
Uh, kudos to him for being
it
that
is
way.
what it is."
And on,
Like
and
they
on that
went
podcast,
in a different direction and I wish them the best is
yeah,
like all he said. And I was like, "Good for you. Good for
yeah.
you because now you look like still approachable by
Oh
Marvel
God,
if
yeah.
they wanted to have you come back out or
And
if
they
DC
easily
now
could.
wants you with James Gunn." Right.
Yeah, because we don't know where the Serpent Society storytelling is gonna go in this.
Mhm.
So as we've seen, in multiple Marvel projects, it could be anywhere from 1 year later to 10 years later. They bring characters back from a group that was established in the MCU. So, like, yeah, I
Mhm.
I think it was very smart of him because they could easily bring him back as a person of Serpent Society, depending on how the storytelling goes in any
Yeah.
project, really. I mean, just kinda
Mhm.
like we've seen in Shang-Chi. That's a perfect, example, actually, because we got to see a Black Widow in there fighting. We got to see one of the AIM people who has regenerative pile or powers fighting. You got to see the Hulk and Wong in there fighting. So like that was a quick scene that I think everybody loved. That you got to see multiple characters from the past or groups that they were part of in the past of the MCU. So yeah,
Mhm.
100%. And I like how he real quick like casually turned the conversation into everything that his wife's doing in the movie that she's got coming out in a movie she's secretly working on. So yeah, very classy guy, very classy.
Yeah.
Let's see. So also rumor report, this ain't official, but apparently Marvel is ready to recast T'Challa. We know, I really say T'Challa and not just Black Panther because Shuri is a Black Panther.
Mhm.
But they're actually ready to cast T'Challa. Rumor is that because we have the multiversal things going on, that the way that they would recast him, obviously, because they've talked about his death, they've showed us his death and respected that
Mhm.
that it would just be a T'Challa from another universe come in. Uh,
Okay.
and I think that there's nothing wrong with that. I think there's been enough gap there for the respect of the mantle that Chadwick Boseman carried and what he did. And
Mhm.
this is still not disgracing anything because we've seen variants from multiverses. So it's not even like a recast to replace him, obviously.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think we're ready for that. I think it
So
was
you don't think that it would be just like a whole 'nother different Black Panther that like you know, like M'Baku was like had challenged T'Challa, and
Mhm.
what if in that universe, like he
No,
won
no,
and
I think it's, I think in the 616 universe, I think Shuri has earned the title of Black Panther. I would like to see her stay as a 616 as Black Panther as long as we're telling the story of 616, and obviously we don't know what's gonna happen after Secret Wars if
mhm.
616 still exists. But at least up to Secret Wars, you know, she just got it at the end of Wakanda
Yeah,
Forever.
but I mean, like from a different universe, if somebody were to come in, like if it would be to like he would have
Oh,
the name
and, like, take
T'Challa
over the
or
mantle of Shuri, like, challenge Shuri, you think?
No, no, no. I mean, like because we when we have like other like when we have the Reed Richards that we
Mhm.
think is going to happen in Fantastic Four, right? It's
Right.
not that we're getting a different Reed Richards. It's just that there's another Reed Richards that's just going to show up and then like
Sure.
go away eventually, right?
Yeah, yeah. Oh, you're
So
talking about, like, so him leaving that universe, maybe his universe maybe disappearing, so he came over to 616, and this is the
right.
also okay, okay, okay. Shoot,
Right,
I
like, just
wonder how
shows up and or, like, if you really think
yeah.
that this person's gonna name themselves T'Challa,
Right, right.
like, actually hold that
Yeah.
name.
So, I would love to see I mean, I would be okay with that, but
Mm,
I think it would be almost a thing to where we would have to keep to be just. I think we would have to keep him and Shuri as Black Panthers. Like maybe they have a team up, you know, like they
mhm,
tackle maybe they tackle some things together, maybe they don't, maybe I don't know. But I think that would work. But I think they would need to keep Shuri's Black Panther with this other universe of T'Challa's Black Panther.
yeah,
Uh, if they for some reason brought him in, he lives here in our universe now because his whatever you know disappeared. Maybe there's an incursion, whatever.
mhm,
I think they would. I think it's only right to keep Shuri as a Black Panther as well, and we just have two
yeah.
Black Panthers.
I mean, but we also saw, like, in the What If series where T'Challa, like, Black Panther was also Star-Lord, so, like, what if we get that and they
Oh
are
my god!
constantly in and out, you know,
Yeah,
and isn't just constantly in this Earth
sure, sure, sure.
616 where you have to
So
worry
maybe
about
he's
two
like
Black Panthers.
a multiversal group he's traveling with.
Yeah, like or
That would work. That would really work. Is Shuri is more of the Earth based one to where
exactly.
so
Yeah,
maybe that
that's
Black Panther joined the new Guardians.
right because we do have like a new Guardians that's assembling underneath
Right.
Rocket.
Yeah.
So,
And not necessarily that, but like a group like that, but like that would be a group he could easily join or at
mhm,
least tag along and be a part of a lot of, you know, things that they're doing across the universe.
yeah, and we saw Peggy Carter go up and hang out with the Watcher, so does it mean anybody could do that?
Or
That doesn't have a universe because
I hope
now their universe is
yeah.
gone, maybe? Maybe?
I hope not because like who is established with that the Watcher, you know, Storm, uh Birdie, Peggy Carter. There's one more, right? There's four of them, right? Or three.
What's her face? Oh my God, I can't believe I'm blanking.
I'm blanking right now too.
The Native American,
Oh,
the
Kahori. Yeah.
yes,
Yeah,
Kahorti.
Kahori.
Yes.
So yeah, I would love and it doesn't have to be a big thing. Uh, but I would love to get like a 3 5 minute live action scene of them. Like I don't know how. Let it be a quick and done because I get you don't want to get too heavy into that because it was been in the animated series. But I
Uh-huh.
would love to get a live scene of them four
It would be
and
perfect in
and
Secret Wars.
and
Let's
with Uatu,
yeah.
and Jeffrey Wright playing Uatu. Oh my god! Like I please Marvel, give us that. I would love just to see a quick scene. You know what? I would just be as happy as a 15-second pass by, kind of like how we seen Stan Lee sitting on a planet talking with three Watchers. You know, in live
Mhm.
action. Like even if it was that, I'm good with that.
Yeah. Who knows? Because I
Yeah,
mean like in Endgame we got like all of the female team up, right?
yeah, yeah. You're right. And that was
So
like
like what
a
if
short scene, but that was like a callback to the comics. Yeah, 100%. I don't know.
and
I
that
don't
could be
care.
in Secret
I just want
Wars?
to
I don't
visually
know.
see it. I just want my
This is
eyes to
just
see
like
it.
my mind just
Yes.
racing and I'm like, "Oh, what if?"
Speaking of MCU, so obviously we know we've not seen a Norman Osborn in the MCU yet.
Mhm.
So there's been one of the rumors, and supposedly I've seen, or I've heard, I've read that Matthew McConaughey is going to end up being a Norman Osborn in this. And I'm not gonna lie, I actually love this.
I would be okay with this.
Me
Like I
too.
literally was thinking about like, okay, so I
Mhm.
saw who you'd said like in
Right,
our
right,
like
right.
notes or whatever, but then I
Well,
was like, but
this is
man,
just a guy speaking out wanting to be who we're gonna talk about here in a minute. But like
okay.
the Matthew McConaughey, I had to mention it because it actually just popped in my head. I think he could play a good Norman
Yeah.
Osborn, and,
Oh
like, off
yeah.
screen and on screen, I love Matthew McConaughey.
I
Like,
mean, we have oh God, what's his face that is the Green Goblin? Isn't that
Willem
Norman
Dafoe.
Osborn? Yeah, isn't that
Yeah, yeah.
Norman
Yeah, that's Norman Osborn,
Osborn?
but he's
Okay.
from a different universe, the Tobey Maguire
Yeah.
universe. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Like,
But I mean, like,
I love how they brought him into this universe, he went back, and supposedly he's gonna appear again in Secret Wars, I think, and that's
okay,
perfectly fine, but I do wanna see an established 616 Norman Osborn.
okay. Then
Some
yes, I
people
would go for Matthew
Yeah,
McConaughey.
yeah, yeah, of course, like,
All right, all right, all right.
yeah, maybe not that version, but yeah. But, I don't know, I know a lot of people kinda crap on the movie, The Dark Tower with him and Idris Elba, just because it was nowhere near what the books was. But
Mm,
like I'll seriously like my son and me watch it. We still love The Dark Tower. It's a fun movie. It's not something we don't know a lot about the lore, so we're just gauging off what we've seen. But like
yeah.
that you see Matthew McConaughey play a dark villain in that. And
Mm,
there's other movies you can tell, but like I think he'd be a good Norman Osborn.
yeah.
But anyways, so Invincibles, Chris Diamantopoulos, he actually has stated that he's like vocally telling people he's like I want to play Norman Osborn, and not only is he saying like he wants to play Norman Osborn, but he's like I think the MCU should do a short episode series on Norman Osborn becoming the Green Goblin, and then bring the Norman Osborn into the film as a villain. He's like so
Okay.
he's like I want to be Norman Osborn. Let's do like I'm paraphrasing a 6 episode series. He didn't say the number, and then
Yeah.
on his journey of becoming from just regular Norman Osborn to the Green Goblin, and then boom, throw him in the MCU as a villain. I actually kind of like the take on doing a series of Norman becoming the Green Goblin and then throwing him in, but do it with Matthew McConaughey. I'm not saying this guy couldn't pull it off. I'm not saying he couldn't pull
Yeah.
it off. But anyways,
I don't know. I feel like Matthew McConaughey has more of that like dad vibe, you
yeah,
know?
yeah, and he
Like,
can give a very also like I think he can come across as an intimidating business person. He can portray one as
yeah.
well.
Well,
And
I mean,
Norman
we saw that
Osborn,
with Lincoln Lawyer, so
yeah,
I
yeah,
mean,
yep. And then
that would
yeah, and
yeah.
then speaking of business people, you can't forget to in the Wolf of Wall Street. But
Yeah, dude.
uh
He fucking kicked ass in that role. Oh my God.
you just don't want,
Yeah.
Norman Osborn doing, booger sugar, like he did in that movie. But
I
because we
like
know
and
Kevin
he
Feige will not allow that, as Ryan Reynolds just said.
right, but like we also know that he wouldn't do that. But like I feel like Matthew McConaughey because we've seen him in Interstellar as that dad
Yeah,
that like is like and he pulled out our heartstrings in that movie and we
yeah,
know that he can do it. And then to go into that like he
yeah.
could play a fantastic Green Goblin, I think anyway.
Yeah, I do too. He's given
Um
us many things like you're saying, the dad, the
mhm,
businessman, villain
mhm.
roles. I mean, so that's a collaboration of who Norman Osborn is.
Yeah, and he did really great doing all those roles. I do know also that Matthew McConaughey said that like he was gonna go out into Texas and be a rancher or whatever, like he
Mhm.
was done with
Yeah.
Hollywood. So,
Well, he actually
but he
lives out
did
there,
say,
and he's actually, if he's not filming already or already filmed it, he's going to. He's actually going to be into one of the spinoffs of Yellowstone. That's like the year 19 whatever. I think
yeah,
1960 something. And they've
yeah,
already filmed it, or they're still filming, I think, or getting ready to. And he's actually part
mm,
of that, and that's filmed in Texas as well. So
okay,
I think he lives down there now.
yeah, and that's what I remember seeing him. I mean, like I don't really follow like celebrity news
Yeah,
like that, but I do remember seeing something about like him moving out to Texas and being done
yeah,
with Hollywood, but him also saying like if the right role came along, like he would take it. And I
right.
think that this could be that role.
Yeah, and like
Let him come back to the MCU. Now
I
that
don't
it's just like Cowboy Pool, but
right, and then, like, when I say, like, I like him off screen and on screen, like, I s and this is maybe, I guess, on screen technically if you count TikTok and YouTube, but, like, also, like, if you ever get a chance to listen, and, like, it's not for everybody, but, like, he talks a lot about he does, like, a lot of business stuff and success stuff, and
mhm,
then he will get on podcasts and talk a lot of success, and, like, his success and business stuff is kind of inspirational, motivational, his in the way he looks at things, like, it's very, very good. Like, he's great to listen to when it comes to real life stuff as well, not just acting, so,
that's dope.
uh, yeah, but, next on our list, Furiosa's George Miller. Him and Chris Hemsworth, ever since they've done the last, that movie Furiosa, they've got a pretty good bond, they love working together, and rumor has it, and I don't think this is rumor, I think this is official, but, like, so Chris Hemsworth set up a meeting between George Miller and Kevin Feige, and supposedly, now this is the supposedly part, like, is like they're talking about him directing Thor 5. I think him and Kevin Feige's kind of talking through it, and it's a possibility that he may be our next director for Thor 5. And I think that would be okay. I'm not opposed to this. I think it would give Thor 5 a more of a serious, maybe more grittier tone. And I think
Mhm,
after the last Thor project we kind of want that. As we've seen, that was too much comical comedy. That
mhm,
it was probably the least well received Thor project to date. Uh, honestly,
okay.
everybody's got their own
Guys, I
opinions,
know
but
that people are still like upset about Dark World or whatever.
yeah, not so much after Thor: Love and Thunder. Like everybody now is like, you know what, Dark World's not so bad.
I enjoyed Love and Thunder. I'm part of that like small little like I thought it like I didn't go into it having many expectations. I
Uh huh.
enjoyed it though. Like the screaming goats like made me laugh and seeing Christian Bale as like that dark broody like god. And
Yeah.
yeah, there was parts of the story that definitely had their faults, but
Hmm.
for what it was, like I did enjoy watching that movie. It did give me what I expected to get out of it.
Right. Gotcha.
So that's me. Like, and I know that not
Yeah.
everybody feels that way,
No,
but
but
like
that's what makes you
I
you. Everybody should have their own opinions. Everybody has their own
r-
taste in things. So
right, you don't
yeah.
like, Nightmare Before Christmas, and I enjoyed
Right. Right.
Thor Love and Thunder.
And that's
Like,
kind of the same it's kind of the same deal. A lot of people love Nightmare Before Christmas, just not my thing.
yeah.
So yeah, 100%. No, I can respect that. Uh,
I mean, I'm not gonna go back and like it's not gonna be my dedicated every year I have to
sure,
watch this
sure.
movie. If it's on, like if I'm flipping through channels and
Right.
it comes on, yeah, I'm gonna watch it.
Yeah,
Like,
you're not
'cause
gonna
it's
be like,
on.
"Oh, no, flip it away." Yeah.
Yeah, right. And I'm not gonna like go out and search for it unless I'm like
Mm,
doing like a rerun of all the Thors to lead up to Thor 5, because I'll probably be doing that.
yeah,
Everything kind of has its own play in my mind, and it was good enough for me to say that I would watch it again at least.
sure, sure. Uh, so as you said a while ago, you don't really cover celebrity, lives, and we typically don't report on personal celebrity lives and stuff. But I feel like this is a must. So apparently, Tom Holland likes it because he put a ring on it. Uh, as we've seen, is that the Golden Globes, correct? Wasn't it?
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, and so, like, a lot of people for, like, 14 hours is like, "Oh, there's a ring," and then a lot of people, they've asked her, while she was walking, like, "Hey, is that an engagement ring?" She just kinda smiled, didn't answer nobody, didn't say anything,
Hmm.
and so for, like, people's like, "It's not an engagement ring, it's not an engagement ring, it's this, it's this, it's this," and then 14 hours later, it leaked out. TMZ, I believe, is the one that actually was able to report it. That it happened in one of Zendaya's family members. It was an intimate, more personal thing where he proposed to her, and it
Yeah.
truly is an engagement ring. They're engaged. Which, let's be honest, I think the whole world's happy about this. The whole world's been waiting on this. I don't
We've
think
been
there's a
waiting for a
yeah,
Spider-Man and MJ to finally get together, and we're
yeah,
finally getting
yeah.
that like in real life.
In real
So
life.
to know that they like met on the set of
Oh,
Spider-Man
yes.
and their love blossomed into what it is
Mm,
now, and now they're engaged, and it's very beautiful. And
yes. They're such a great
I was
couple too.
Right, and I was watching, like, lip sync videos over the weekend, and
Oh,
they
yes.
both are in the lip sync battle, where he did, like, the umbrella, thing, and then, like, she did the, one of the Bruno Mars songs, I can't
Yeah,
remember,
was it
24
24 Karat
Karat
Hair?
Magic.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, um,
And
so,
she
like
did okay, but, like, Tom freaking nails it. Like, so I'm not gonna lie,
okay,
I
but
watch Tom's performance since it came out, like, 3 times a year, 'cause, like,
oh, yeah,
it's just
that's
so
something that
entertaining to
lives
watch.
it lives rent free in my mind,
Oh,
like, constantly,
100%.
but to, like, see that they're real people too, and that
Yes, yeah.
when like, he talks about it openly about, like,
Mm.
when they're on the red carpet and she's doing, like, a movie premiere,
He's
he
not there
goes
for a
with
reason.
her, but he doesn't take photos with her while she's walking down the carpet, like, he's
Yes.
just, like, the side man because, like,
He said that's
he's
it's our
like,
moment.
I'm not
Yeah.
here to like take over her moment and for it to make it about us. It is an us thing that we're doing together, but it's
Yes.
hers. And I'm like,
So
oh,
much respect, so much
oh,
respect.
I love
So many
it.
couples, not just Hollywood and normal normal people can take
Yeah.
notes from their, relationship for real.
Yeah. Not everything
They
has to
seem
be
yeah, like, they seem so healthy, like, so genuine, so
mhm.
I love it.
Yeah. So that's definitely like I don't like I said follow like
Right.
celebrity news,
It's hard not to follow that.
but that made me so happy when I
Mm,
saw it, and because I saw it, like, all over my Facebook, like, I opened up Facebook that morning, and I'm like, engagement rings everywhere, and I was just like,
yeah.
"Whoa, but yay!" So, yeah.
Yes. So that
But
kinda wraps
yeah,
up our Marvel, let's hop into some DC.
let's go discuss it.
So, Creature Commandos is over. The first establishment is complete in James Gunn's Gods and Monsters.
Mhm.
And let me tell you, for it being an animated series that started us off, it is so freaking good.
Yeah, it has me really happy and excited for Superman.
Yes, yes, I'm not gonna lie, and like jumping right into, I'm not gonna lie, like this what the scene, I was like, no, like I was so upset, but this right here, I'm like,
Yeah.
no, I did not see that coming. I'm not gonna lie. I thought there's
The
no
whole twist of, like, what happened with the bride, I was like,
yes,
"Oh my god. Oh my god."
yes,
And then at the end, like, spoiler warning or whatever. But we got to see like the GI Robot 2.0 like that
yeah,
was there and I was like, "Oh my soul, I'm so happy."
yes, yeah. So that was a death throw, like no, and that's someone came back, but then I don't think we're getting Mina back. Like I think she's gone.
Mm-mm. Yeah,
100%.
but I
And
mean,
this episode, by the way, is called A Very Funny Monster. I forgot to mention that.
yeah.
So,
So I mean, like it kind of like it goes with the fact that like her and Weasel both like aren't aren't
mhm,
those people. Like they're made out to be these monsters, but they
yeah,
haven't actually really killed anybody. They're
yeah.
here to support the people that they care about and they love.
And
And
this is the
you got
episode
to
we
see
get to
that
see
with
her backstory,
right.
and like it
And you got
was
to see where she has that love and that she's really never been a monster in the sense of
no,
like killing people. And you got to see that when like they tell her like, okay, well, the princess is in this lake body of water swimming and that's you, bitch. Like you gotta go
yeah,
swim. And she's like, all right, I guess I'm gonna go swim. And then they're like, you're gonna have to stab her.
yeah.
And she's just like, what do you mean I have to stab her? Why do I have to kill her? Like
Mm.
I'm just here to be with
And
my friends.
and Doctor Phosphorus, man, whoo! Like obviously we get the perception that the bride is giving off. Ooh, I'm a hard ass, but she really did
Hmm.
care for Mina. She really did.
Yeah.
But Doctor Phosphorus, that we see in the previous episode, and we get the feel for him. But then, like he does what he does with Mina, like he like just acts like he cares, and then like as she walks off, he's like, "Does it sound like I care?" Even though I really
Yeah.
don't. I'm like,
Yeah.
God, you
I
are
was like,
so
oh,
hard, dude. Like so hardcore, like God.
dude. the part where they were like fighting in the town square or whatever,
Uh,
and like he put up his middle fingers and then like he went through like the people's faces and it was
yeah.
just like the
Or how about
outline of
like
his
when
middle finger.
he
I
went
was
to
like,
put his hand over the mouth and then he just pulls his hand back and takes off the bottom half of his face. I'm like,
and the
woo!
smoke comes out of the guy's nose because he was
Yes,
smoking a
yes, that's a
cigarette.
secret. Yes.
Yes. Oh
Like so,
man.
like to me, I'm not gonna lie, this is peak adult animation. Like the storytelling's good. And here's another thing. Kudos to James Gunn. He is the only writer of this. He wrote these by himself. And like in different
Hmm.
interviews and stuff, he talks like he knocked these out like super quick. Now, like, don't get
Yeah.
me wrong, he gives credit where credit's due. Like, he didn't direct these because, like, he's like, animation's not his strong point on directing and stuff. But so, like, he's like, the director and people who help polish things on this, and the animators, he's like, they escalated my writing. And so, like, he
Yeah.
gives credit where credit's due. But you can't deny, like, he wrote these by himself. And it's like
Yeah.
James Gunn is a
And he
talented,
said that
so talented.
he used like the comics as like a backbone, but like he
Yeah.
made it completely his own. And
Yes.
then like he did the teaser on like the 23rd of December that he's like, "Hey, don't worry, come back for season 2." And I didn't know
Yeah.
that
I
at
didn't
first, and
either.
I didn't find that out until
Yeah.
this weekend when I was like researching and you're like, "What are our theories and thoughts on season 2?" And I was like, "Is there going to be a season 2?" So I
Oh,
immediately
yeah.
started Googling
Oh,
and he
I
made
think
a
there would be
post
a
on
riot
X.
if there wasn't. Sorry.
Yeah. No, you're fine. So he made a post on X back on the 23rd of December when we
Yeah.
were doing our break. And he did say that it's been renewed for season 2. So, um, like to see how this ended and then the bride get her own team, I'm really
Yeah.
excited to see like all of
Yes.
this happen because like at the end she was just like, "Look, man, like I'm not here to kill you because like it's what the world needs. I'm here to kill you because I fucking hate you. Like
Yeah.
you killed my only friend I ever had and
Yeah.
now you deserve to die."
But
And I'm
she
like,
did figure out the manipulation in it, she was bad.
oh yeah, 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 yeah. She did before she
And
killed
and
her
and
and was
and and
like, I
I
saw the photo, I saw Clayface, I
yeah.
know what you did, and
Mhm.
then to see the princess's face go from like, I don't blame you for
Yeah.
what you did with your friend to like, oh shit, like she knows.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah, and, like, we talked about our theories a while back, about Cersei and the princess and which one's really bad, and I had that feeling that there's something still bad about that princess. Like,
Yeah,
I didn't necessarily know which way to think about Cersei, I really didn't, but, like,
yeah,
I just had that gut feeling the princess is still a bad person, and,
yeah.
yeah, I was so happy to see
She
her.
tricked me.
But man, like, so, uh I like, I'm so ready for season 2, but man, I would love to see this in live action. I'm not even gonna lie. And I would love to see how they would do
Um,
the bride, because like, man, it would
no, the bride is obviously prosthetics would go
right,
so
right, but it
far
would
for
be
that,
so
and
cool to see her in live action.
oh, yeah, I'm more concerned about Dr. Phosphorus and
Oh,
how they
yeah.
and
That'd be some hella CGI.
that's why they decided to do
Mhm.
animation for this is because it would be easier to tell his story and not have to
Right.
worry about all of that. And you got to
Yeah.
see like the crackle that there was a comic book actor or not comic book actor, sorry, comic book writer
Uh-huh.
that like had to like put that crackle to paper and it's like his effect is like what they call that crackle and
Oh,
I
yeah,
can't
yeah, I've
remember
seen
exactly
that.
what it
Yeah,
was.
yeah, yeah. I know what you're talking
And I
about.
saw it on I saw it on New Rockstars.
Uh-huh.
To go check out their stuff because I can't remember what that crackle is called.
Yeah. Their
But
breakdowns are so freaking thorough. Like, I love their
absolutely.
breakdowns.
Yes. And they talked about that crackle and I was like, wow, that's like really neat, but that's something that you can't do in
Mhm.
live action. Like it's
And
just
it
not
not
the
be
same. Like
expensive.
you can try to do it CGI, but it
Right.
just
Yeah.
I don't know, man. Like I don't think that it would go over well and it wouldn't look right. So I don't know.
Yeah. No, but man, and then like, do you think also that Rick Flag Sr. will be back with this new group on the next season, or do you think he might be done because he kind of disproved himself and how easy he could fall into, you know, I mean,
I
like they were kind of making fun of him on there. Oh, all it took was a googly eyed girl to make him an idiot. Like, and so now
well
the
yeah,
bride's kind of, established the leader as at the end of this.
yeah.
So do you think like he's done in that, because we do know we're going to get him in Superman Legacy, or I mean, sorry,
Mhm.
Superman now, and then we
Yeah.
also know he's going to be in Peacemaker season 2. So there's theories out there that because Rick Flag Jr. was killed by Peacemaker, and with Rick Flag Sr. going to be in season 2 of Peacemaker, obviously they're going to get into it. And do you think that Peacemaker could possibly kill Rick Flag Sr. in season 2, and we get him maybe just in these 3 projects or 3 or 4 projects, and then he's done? Or do you think that I mean, because I don't see the
That would
guy
be so
forgiving him.
sad.
I don't see
Yeah.
the guy forgiving him for killing his son. I don't think they're going to get along. I don't think there's no getting over that. You don't get
Yeah.
over that.
No. No. There you can't, but there's also like being cordial and still working together. So I feel
Yeah. Do
I
you
don't know, man.
I
I
don't
don't think that
either.
he's gonna be a part of Creature Commandos. Like maybe he'll be with Viola Davis and like overseer kind of
Right.
thing.
Or do you think that
Um,
they would do maybe later on still do a Suicide Squad that's in this new DCU, and maybe put him leading that because he couldn't properly lead the monsters? Because I mean, and it not be no time soon. I don't know why that was so hard to get that word out, but but like because this first phase is gods and monsters. So
mm,
obviously the monsters are well established now, so well. And then Superman, that comes into the god part, So I don't know. I don't know. I mean, obviously we'll see. I don't know why. Uh, I'm
I
so
think he's done with Creature Commandos,
yeah.
but I don't think that he's gonna be killed off in Peacemaker.
Right.
Just because I think he cares about his character too much to let it
Mhm.
go so soon because he can't go back to Marvel, like, because
Right. Right.
apparently he burned that bridge.
Right, right, and
Um,
he's kinda upset with how little he was in Marvel, so I think
right,
he would have to be a little bit more longer established in DCU to be playing this character as well.
right, or like he might stick around with Disney and or try to go back to Disney rather and do something with like Star Wars. I don't know.
I
I
don't
don't
know.
really know what he's gonna do, but
Yeah,
like I don't think that he's gonna be in Creature Commandos anymore.
yeah,
Just because I think of like how it all went down and
sure.
how badly he got beat up by Clayface.
Yeah.
Maybe he's gonna be the new Clayface?
I don't know. That's another thing is, like, it's wild to think because this is in James
Huh.
Gunn's DC.
Yeah.
That Clayface is dead. Like, there's no ifs, ands about it
Yeah.
because they went back and his face was still laying on the ground like he's dead. So
Yeah.
it makes you wonder, like, crap, are we not gonna get a Clayface ever in live action in this new universe? Or will it be something kinda like, storytelling's Invisible Man? There that was a substance that created Clayface. Maybe there's another person who's going to get the chemical substance or whatever and be the next
Mhm.
Clayface. It's just a
Yeah.
different person, type thing.
And
Uh,
that's what I think it's gonna be because we know we're getting that Mike Flanagan, which
right,
is part of this universe. Mike
right,
Flanagan's Clayface that he's making is a part of this universe.
right.
So
And that Clayface is definitely dead. So I think it's gonna be someone else become a new person becomes the new Clayface.
right.
Uh, yeah, kind of like like I said, like they've done storytelling Invisible Man. Well, I mean, kind of
Mhm.
like Leave Extraordinary Gentlemen. Another guilty pleasure of mine that I love that movie. I watch all the time.
Same.
And, like, Skinner, he was Invisible Man, but he's like, the original Invisible Man died, but his process didn't. And so, like, he took, his, DNA and stuff and made himself the Invisible Man. So I
Yeah.
think that's the route they almost have to go.
Yeah. Yeah, and because like Rick Flag got beat up so much, maybe he's gonna experiment, and that's why he's gonna become Clayface, and he's gonna become evil because like
Mm.
nobody trusts him now, and I
Yeah,
don't know.
true.
Like
Like,
there are so many different ways that this
no,
could go,
I wanna see
or they
Alan
could just kill
Tudyk
him
as
off.
the live
Like
version. I wanna see Alan Tudyk as our Clayface.
so, I mean, so the new rock stars like said that yeah, even though like he voiced Clayface in the Harley Quinn and in
Mhm,
this like the fact that they never actually showed him as Clayface and they
mhm,
actually showed him as Dr. Phosphorus, like in the
right.
most
They
realistic
probably
way
won't.
possible. Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's what I also am thinking. And I'm
Mm.
like, okay, well, I mean,
Yeah, that's true. I just love Alan Tudyk.
yeah, no, I mean, he can't do any wrong. Like he's
Right,
never
right.
done any
Well,
wrong.
now you say
And
that, I think there was something I read where James Gunn commented, he's like, even though Alan Tudyk is voicing multiple people, he will
mhm,
only actually be one character in the DCU. Like, so, like, so it may be a deal where we do get to see a live action Dr. Phosphorus, not like a movie about him, but him come into a scene because you know how many
Yeah.
characters are overlapping, and that's just who Alan Tudyk is. And but
Yeah.
so speaking of somebody who might be coming to DC, it might be the new DC big bad, which I think he could definitely pull it off. Do I necessarily think this is a smart move? No, because he was established so well in the MCU as the big bad Thanos, Josh Brolin. Okay, he's also was Cable in the MCU. All right, but here's the thing with this Darkseid
Who is he
in
trying
the
to? Okay. So
Darkseid
he's trying to be
is
Darkseid.
who he's teasing. Supposedly, he's in talks with DC to be Darkseid, which is the a big bad in the DC
Mm,
universe. But Darkseid is the equivalent of Thanos in like comparison from Marvel to DC. For him
okay.
being that comparison, even in the comics, and then being that in the MCU, why would you want to bring that guy as the same thing in the DCU, especially when you're not trying to copy or
Because he
mimic?
did so
And
well.
he did do so well, don't be wrong, and I think he could pull a dark side off, but I just think, like, you don't wanna get that reputation that we're mimicking Marvel at all, and James Gunn sa James Gunn said that. He's like, "Even with
Yeah.
Big Bad," he's like, "Darkseid is gonna be a big bad." I think he's mentioned this, and he said that there's a deal I read where he said, "We're not gonna do like Marvel where it's multiple movies leading up to the big bad." He's like,
Mm,
"We're" because obviously he does not wanna structure it and have any comparison at all to Marvel. And I think this is another piece of the puzzle to where if they went this route, it would be a comparison to Marvel if they did this. So what's your thoughts on this? I mean, like, don't get me wrong, like the guy could do it. And
yeah.
he teased this artwork on his story the other day, which why would you do that? Unless
What do you
you
mean?
want it
Why
to
would you
work.
do? He
No,
would because like.
he's fishing or it's a real thing and he's teasing.
So I think that it's not a real thing yet because
He's
it's in
fishing for
talks. Like
support.
I think he wants to do it and he's trying to say like, look, I
Yeah.
could do it. Like let
Mhm.
me do it. And and Josh Brolin is just like a phenomenal actor
Oh,
that he's
yeah.
had like
Yes.
such a large resume
Oh, yeah.
spiel if you will of like different actors.
Very versatile
Yeah,
actor.
of different characters that he can play. So,
Yeah.
like, I don't think that he's typecasting himself. I think that he's like, okay, I've done pretty much
Mhm.
everything I can do with MCU at this point.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
It
And,
is
like,
what it is.
have you seen Outer
And
Range on Amazon?
no, I don't even
Okay,
know what that is.
that's the current show he's doing. There's only 2 seasons out. The second season came out a few months ago. Uh,
Okay.
but it's a sci-fi thriller mixed with it being on, like, a ranch land.
Mm,
It's very trippy. It's very, very I like it. You should check it out sometime.
okay.
It's like a Western sci-fi that he's in. It's crazy.
Okay. Yeah.
So
I'll definitely like have to check that out. I'm sorry, my nose is like acting up right now. Um, But like I think that he's like, okay, well, I've done what I can with the MCU, so let me go over to the DCU now that
Mhm.
they're doing well and um he's at least has he worked with James Gunn? No. I don't think he's worked with James Gunn. But
I don't think I know he did no, I don't think he's worked with James Gunn. I think he let me see if just go ahead, keep on, but I think he's done a DC project before. Yeah, Jonah
okay.
Hex. He was Jonah Hex, and that's a DC project that was done in, 2010 with him and Megan Fox.
Yeah, but we don't talk about that.
No, no, we really don't.
We don't talk about that. That's
Yeah,
not it's
yeah. That's a brutal
but I think
situation.
yes. But I think like with this, he's like, okay, well, I know that it will be done correctly, and
Mhm.
I'm comfortable coming back into the DCU, especially since he has been technically in the DC
Yeah.
of some type of universe. But yeah, I think that could really pull it off. I don't think that
Mhm.
DC would be wrong to do it, just because
Oh,
he wants to play it, and like, why
sure.
not? Like, if somebody wants to play a character,
Well, plus
let
too,
them
like,
try it out.
just like Thanos, I mean, with Darkseid, would be a fully CGI character. So it ain't
Mhm.
like they're completely using his face. It's gonna be like a repetitive face thing on screen. It would
Yeah.
just and he's got an iconic villain voice. He's got a great villain voice that
And his
really
build
makes
that like
you
you got to
yeah.
see him have
I
with
I mean,
Thanos, like
in Thanos' face, you do see some resemblance of
Mhm.
Josh Brolin, and I love how they did that. But like, I don't know, he has a very good. I don't. I love his voice for for Thanos because like it's a villain voice, but like it's a how do you explain it? Like it's a voice like when he speaks, you want to listen to what he's got to say because everything he had to say
It's
was very
important.
influential and important. Yes, very.
Yes.
And so like yeah. I mean, he would pull it off so well. I just
Mhm.
don't know because of the reason I spoke of earlier if that would be a good move. But if they did choose him, I would not be upset. I would not be upset. So
Yeah.
at all. But one
No.
last thing on DC, and this is kind of like a quick mention. I think this is hilarious. One thing also we don't speak of, and I will never watch again is Joker 2, Folia do. Uh, but if you did watch the Golden Globes, if you didn't, that's fine. But just just go on YouTube, and I promise you it's worth your time. It's like 9 minutes long. Just look up Nikki Glazer uh, at the beginning of the Golden Globes, like her
Yeah. It was
debut.
her opening.
Yeah, her opening. Yes, yes, thank you. I could not think of the word. But hilarious. I love Nikki Glazer's comedy. Like she is so freaking hilarious. And like when
Mhm.
I found out she was brought on, like, ooh, how they gonna bring her on and holding back some of her jokes that she says because they can get me out there. But she just like goes hard on so many actors that's right there, appearing. And one of them being Joker 2, she just completely shits on. She like looks over at Lady Gaga and is like, yeah, your parts in Joker too. She's like, I woke up for some of that. She's like, but the rest of the movie I pretty much slept on, which was hilarious. And I'm not gonna lie, I don't even know if Lady Gaga's parts were even the parts worth waking up on. And I love Lady Gaga as an actress and a singer because like Star is Born. Oh my god, I love that movie and that whole soundtrack. But man,
So
Folia
you're
do.
remembering that sequence wrong.
Am I?
Just so you know. Yeah, so she was talking about Dune with Zendaya and how she
Oh
woke
my
up to
god, you're
see
right.
Zendaya's
You are
parts.
right. I cannot believe I just said
Yeah.
that wrong. You're right.
No, it's okay. That's why we both watch things.
Yes.
So she was talking about Wicked and how amazing it was, how we can't talk about
Mm,
2024 without talking about
yeah, yeah,
Wicked,
yeah,
and then
yeah.
how people were getting mad in theaters because of how
Mm,
people were singing in theaters. And then she talked about how, unlike Joker 2, everybody was mad just because what was being shown on the screen and what was being
yes,
said. And
yes.
can't you agree with Joker 2? Oh, Joker 2's not here. And then continued on with
Yeah,
like
yeah,
her
yeah,
skit
yeah.
because
Yep,
like
you're
they
right.
didn't get nominated
Man,
for
I cannot believe I
anything.
got that mixed up. So her shitting on Dune 2 was hilarious. Oh man, yeah, you're right. That was Zendaya. My god. But yeah, I so completely got that mixed up. Thanks for
You're
clarifying
okay.
that.
No problem. It's what we're here for.
But
We're here to
still,
back each other up.
yes, for sure. And definitely incorrected when need to be. So watch Nikki Glazer's debut of opening the Golden Globes. She is freaking so funny. Man. But yeah, that kind of wraps up DC. Um a little bit of Star Wars. Not a whole lot, but a little bit.
Yeah. Let's
We'll
get
stop at
into it.
that. Oh, Skeleton Crew. We
Yep.
actually have had a lightsaber in Skeleton Crew, which I did not expect to see.
Yeah, we
This
got to
ep
see it like a couple
yeah,
an
yeah,
episode or two ago, but
yeah,
now
where
we
he, like
actually really get to
yeah, yeah,
see
yeah,
it.
like, getting properly held where it's not being hitting the ground, being knocked out of your hand. But, like, it's something I just didn't expect to see in this series. I didn't expect to see a
Yeah.
lightsaber at all, to be honest with you.
Hmm.
This episode's called "We're Gonna Be in So Much Trouble." Um, I'm still enjoying this. They bring Jude Law back to Adatin. He sees the gold reserve, and oh my god, is there not a crap ton of gold with a whole bunch of vaults that we didn't even get to see that are replicated from the one we did see.
Hmm.
And then
They said that there's like 1139 or something like
yeah,
that,
and
and
his
that's in
vault is
reference
huge.
to that's in reference to what's it, George Lucas with THX 1138. It was like the original Star Wars thing
Mhm.
that you get to see throughout Star Wars, and that was like a nod to that. But
Nice.
anyway.
yeah, and the scene once again just kind of leaves us hanging. He kind of ignites the lightsaber, and obviously, I don't think he's going to kill the kids. We've seen enough of that on screen with Anakin. He's killed enough younglings, enough for probably all of our generation. So
Yeah, I don't think he's gonna do that, but I think he's gonna like get
yeah,
some of the change onto the ship, the
oh
gold
yeah,
onto the ship, and
he'll try to
then like
leave. Yeah,
and then try to leave, and something's gonna go on with that
yeah,
because he's also trying to reach the other pirates that are up in space that he led
right,
at least to the outside of the space.
right. And I'm curious. I still have so many questions. Like I'm curious, like how this ship is an Atten ship, or
Yeah.
what made it like how though, because it had the pirate and stuff on it.
Yeah,
So
so he like probably smuggled or somehow found an AT-AT ship because what do pirates do? They
right,
fucking
right,
find shit.
yeah, yeah.
And then he disguised the ship. He put like the fucking covering over it and he like got that droid and was like, "We do not touch this button. Like
So you think he
this
found
is
that?
our
You think that
secret."
pirate found the Atten ship somewhere in space somewhere else, and then
Mhm.
commandeered it and pretty
Yeah.
much put that whole gotcha. Okay, because I would say like this ship is visually well known as this
Mhm.
pirate ship for a long time. So like he's
Because
had
it's covered. Yeah,
yeah.
and he's had
Okay,
it for a while.
that makes
Yeah,
sense
this
now.
is and I think that the reason why he got the ship was because he had a long plan
Of
to
getting to go
eventually
back and
Captain
forth
Silver,
off.
yeah,
Gotcha.
yeah,
I'm
getting
still
onto
curious, like,
and getting
who
the
is
the
controlling this
treasure.
planet though? Like, who is the big person running and controlling, like, the droids and the whole
Yeah.
establishment in this? So, I hope we get
Well,
to
we
see
only have
it.
one more episode,
I
so
know, like, I hope they address that. Like, I don't want to just kinda leave us like, "Ooh, he tries to get off. Ooh, they stop him. I don't know what's gonna happen," but they never touch who's actually in control of this planet. Like, I really,
yeah.
really hope they address who's in control of this planet because I must know. Uh, but yeah,
Well,
I
I think that he's gonna try to leave the planet. They're gonna stop him. They're gonna take him to their like ruler, leader,
okay,
person,
right,
and that's how you're gonna find that out.
makes sense. And this once again, it's a coming of age story, for a younger audience, but it's been fun. It's been lighthearted and fun. I think it's been a good coming of age story. Like, I mean, it truly does have like a good Goonies space, type feel to it. I've liked Jude Law's character, like the back and forth with him. I think it's been fun. Uh,
Jude
but
Law is the best thing about this show thus
yeah,
far for
yeah.
me
Oh, yeah, like,
because
if it didn't have Jude Law in this playing who he's playing, I don't
mhm,
think it would have nowhere near the weight that it holds with me on enjoying this, by far. Uh, but the kids' characters has been fun. Like, there's been moments like you mentioned, it's true, there's been some annoying moments, but, kids of those different ages have those annoying times. So I mean, it kind of goes hand in hand. But I'm excited. I'm ready to see the last episode and see how they kind of see if it lands, because that's the big thing we notice with these Star Wars and Marvel series on Disney Plus is how is it going to land? Because not all the
mm,
time and not a lot of the times does it land like a lot of the viewers want to see it. So I am curious to see how this last episode plays out.
yep.
But she's like, "Yes, we move on from this subject. I don't like it." But
No, it's not even like that. It's just that
I know it's
I'm
not your
just
cup of tea.
yeah, it's not. But I am watching it and I am enjoying parts of it. It is very Goonies vibe and it is for the younger generation of kids that are just now getting into Star Wars
Right,
and I love that for them. So unlike that, you have like Ahsoka where you had to kind
yeah,
of have some type of back knowledge
right, right.
and
Yeah,
yeah.
but speaking of Ahsoka, so Balin Skull, who we all know was played by the late Ray Stevenson, phenomenal actor. God, I love him. He was Punisher Warzone. He was in Thor movies. He is also Balin Skull, as we've seen in Ahsoka, but unfortunately, he's passed away this past year. So they have recast him officially now, because his character cannot be done in the storytelling with the way Ahsoka ended. So Rory McCann from Game of Thrones.
Yo,
Yeah,
it's the mountain. They got the
yes,
mountain?
they got the mountain to recast as Balin
Yo!
Skull, and I'm not gonna lie, I'm excited about this. Like,
Well, I
I
mean,
think
I don't know if you just saw my like expression.
yes,
I'm
yeah.
super excited for that.
I loved him as the Mountain. I loved his character. I think that's the only thing I've seen him in,
Yeah.
if I can recollect right now properly.
Yeah, but
But
he did an amazing job.
yes. Oh yeah, I loved his character development. I loved him in Game of Thrones. So I'm excited to see him in something else on the screen. And
Yeah.
obviously like this will be, a villain type, but this is more completely different villain, aspect to bring to the screen. So I'm excited to see him expand his portfolio on see how his
Yeah.
versatility is on this. So yeah, I'm excited. I think this is a good choice. I don't think they made a mistake at all by choosing him. So
Yeah. No, I'm here for that.
yeah,
I think that that choice was really good
yeah,
choice.
I do too. And I think he, the way he's just also besides his acting skills, the way he's physically built and the dominance he gives off. I mean, he's built like
Mhm.
to be an intimidating
Oh
villain.
yeah. He's
And
built like a
so
truck.
yeah, yeah, yeah. So yeah, kudos to Star Wars doing that. Great choice.
Yeah. Yeah.
But that pretty much wraps up our Star Wars this week. We went a whole lot. Let's jump into some educated wish.
Let's do it.
I love that.
Man, I still
uh,
geek out about that, man. I'm
yeah,
so
I do
happy.
too. Shrek 5 has been delayed to 12/23 of 26. Minions was actually coming out in 27, but has moved up and taken the Shrek's original date of July 1st, 2026. I love Minions. As long as they make Minion movies, I'm here to watch them. Like I've said this before, and I'll say
I
it.
don't think I've ever seen any of the Minions movies, I'm gonna be honest.
So ever since this Minions came out and did Despicable Me movies, and they started doing like these little shorts, they started doing Minion movies. I don't know what it is about these creatures. I love them. I wish they were
They're
real. They are
adorable.
so adorable. I can literally watch them and their shenanigans all day long. So,
Papoy?
uh, um,
Ah, Papoy.
banana. But
Yeah.
man, yeah. So yeah, sooner we get a Minions project, that's happy. That's why it made the list because I
Mm.
I love Minions.
I didn't know that they were gonna keep bringing back like Universal was gonna keep bringing back like old stuff.
Yeah,
So Shrek and Minions.
yeah.
I mean, I thought they were done with it. I love Despicable Me. I
Me
can't
too.
say I don't think I've seen like the most recent one because there's four of them, right?
Yeah, so I have not seen the most recent I think there's 3.
Or three or four.
I could
I
be
don't
wrong.
know.
There may be
See,
4. I've
I
now
don't
lost
even know
count. Yeah,
anymore.
yeah, same.
Yes.
So
And
I
that's like my fear and like
lose track of the
same
storytelling.
thing it's like with Shrek. It's like with
Mm,
Toy Story. I'm like, okay, like at what point are we gonna be like,
we're done. Yeah.
okay,
So
I
Shrek
understand
5,
nostalgia is a thing, but
I won't rush to theater to see it. I'm sure I'll see it once it comes out on streaming.
yeah,
I enjoyed the first Shrek.
yeah.
God, my favorite thing
I
about
love
Shrek
Shrek 1
is
and 2.
yeah,
I love those. Shrek
uh,
3, I can actually watch. I'm okay with this. Shrek
yeah,
4, I was like,
man.
okay. Okay.
Yeah,
Cool, we're
my favorite thing
done.
about Shrek is just a gingerbread man. Not my gumdrop
That's good
buttons.
job buttons.
But, yeah, I don't know why,
Oh,
but that
Lord
literally is
Farquaad.
my favorite favorite character. Uh,
Yeah, I really man, I really did enjoy number 2 as well.
"You
With
know the Hulk again?"
ah, number 2 where like you had like the fairy godmother and then you
Uh-huh,
got to meet Fiona's parents
right.
and
So I
oh
stopped
man.
watching after 2. I don't think I've seen 3 and 4.
Okay.
If I seen 3, I just don't remember it. I know I've not seen 4, but,
Yeah.
like, Shrek 1 and 2, I liked them, but
Mhm.
I was good with that after that. Like, just like the whole how they drag out the Puss in Boots thing,
Mm.
like, Antonio Banderas as Puss in
I
Boots was
haven't watched any of those.
yeah, me neither. I've watched Puss in Boots in the Shrek movie, but, like,
Yeah. I
that was 3, right? Or was that 2?
think that's 2.
Yeah, I think it's 2. Yeah, and
Yeah,
I
because
liked
that's
him
when
in
they meet
that.
the fairy god. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So I loved Antonio Banderas as Puss in Boots in 2, but, like, I can care less about how y'all are doing, like, all these series and all these other movies, stringing off of it, but
Mhm.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
But,
I really do enjoy Shrek, so I hope that like Pirates of the Caribbean, where number 4 was like, why?
Yeah.
And I think that number 5 will bring it back. I'm hoping that Shrek
Mm,
will be like Pirates of the Caribbean because they do have a lot of the original voice actors that are
right.
coming back for it.
I
So
love me some pirates, I ain't gonna lie. Oh my god, I love me some pirates.
so you liked On Stranger Tides?
Huh? Oh,
You
no, no,
liked
no.
On
No,
Stranger Tides?
no, no, no,
Oh,
no.
okay,
No, no,
okay,
like, the very first one's my favorite. The
okay.
second the first 2 is probably my 2 favorite. No, I don't know, I really like Stranger Tides is
I
4,
like
right?
3.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, Dead Man's Chest is 3, right?
2.
Or 2? What is 3?
At World's End is 3.
At World's End, yes. So the first 3, I absolutely love.
I'm a nerd about pirates. I'm
Yeah.
sorry.
No, 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 I absolutely love it. So, like, low key, like, I have always like, I know it would take some work, but I think I've always wanted to do, Captain Jack Sparrow cosplay, always. And, like, I still may one day, I don't know.
What?
Like, I
Do
really
it.
want to bad because, like,
Do it.
I love how he moves and the way he talks and,
Yeah.
I love rum, so the rum is always gone.
You go from is always gone. I like number 5 though. Like I liked how they did the 10-year thing and
Mm,
how showed Orlando Bloom coming back onto shore and
right, right, yeah,
I
yeah.
loved it. I liked it so much.
And
And I know a
I
lot of people
love
didn't.
I love the CGI, and the CGI was phenomenal for Davy Jones.
Captain Salazar.
Yeah, Captain Salazar
Oh,
too, but Davy
yeah.
Jones, the way, with the tentacles and stuff he had, like, it was so good, and that was so far
Oh
back
man.
then, but it was so good
Yeah.
CGI.
Yeah.
Like, I it would take a foam piece with some prosthetics, but I was like, "Man, that would be so cool." And I don't know if it's possible to in real like, as cosplaying, to make it seem like it needs to be because I love the realism of things, but my god,
Mm.
I think it would be so sick to be do a Davy Jones cosplay, but it would take so much work and so much
And
money.
you would have to make sure you do it when it's a little bit cold outside, cause
Yeah.
it would be
But
so
what
hot.
would be so cool though, is like to have, obviously a lot of it formed and fit, up to the face part, and then have the face
Mm,
where it blends in with some prosthetic and stuff. But then
mm.
in the tentacles, have some mechanical things in it
No, that they can
some
move.
actuators to slightly make the tentacles move with it. Oh
Yes.
my god. That's my idea. And I'm like, that would be so sick. But anyways.
Sorry, we went down the whole pirate
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
route
no,
here.
yeah, yeah. Hey, we're educated wish. We can go on tangents about any realm, so we're good. Speaking of,
But did you actually see that they are gonna like they have Johnny Depp in the talks of coming back for
yes,
Pirates?
yes, and I'm here for
Okay.
it. I
Okay,
am
cool.
here for
Like
it. Yes,
that is a thing that is actually happening.
it needs
Or
to. As
rumored to
it,
happen.
yeah, but it
So
needs to,
now,
and it needs to happen now.
yes. Okay, so Jude Law. Speaking
Yeah,
of Jude Law.
speaking of Jude Law, that's exactly what I was gonna say. So he I read this, I'm like, and the reason I put this on the list, I don't I'm sure I'll watch this. I do like real world adaptation movies, because I'm just curious to see like how accurate they get. And sometimes they can be interesting and you find out things that you didn't know. But he's gonna be playing in a political thriller. It's very new. I think he's reading the script right now, but he will be playing Vladimir Putin from Russia in a movie called The Wizard of Kremlin. And I'm not, and the reason I put this on there as well, I'm like, oh my god, when I heard this, I'm like, he could actually play a Vladimir Putin and resemble him. Look at this. Like here's him side by
Yeah,
side. This dude could
yeah,
literally do a pretty accurate Vladimir Putin. Like we know
yeah.
he's got the chops, the versatile chops to play him. But I'm like,
Mhm.
visually, he kind of looks like he could pass for a family member of this guy.
Oh yeah, yeah. It's I didn't really think about it until like you put it on the list and I was like, "Oh my God."
Yeah, they have a lot of the same facial features and structure. Like I'm like, okay,
Yeah,
okay.
yeah. And it's probably because like Jude Law has some European descent in him
Mm,
and like he's got he's been acting for since I don't know, the 80s. It's like the first
oh
time that
god,
I
yeah,
think I saw him
for a
in
long
something.
time.
And he's pretty much looked the same. He's got very good genes.
Yeah, no, he
Um
does. He ages well for
so
sure.
yeah. So I also do like movies like this, like Civil War with the A24 Civil War.
Yes, yes.
Great movie. So I also like documentaries, and I think this is
Mhm.
kind of like a
Same,
Civil War
same.
type like thing.
Yeah, and I
So
like that we both like that type of stuff because I don't know. To me, that's just documentaries and movies like this is like their own kind of realm in the film industry, and
Mhm.
I don't know. There's just something that those bring out that no other film can bring out, no other aspect. So,
Right.
but yeah. Also, let's see. Oh, so I don't know if you've seen it. It kind of went viral. It's freaking hilarious. Will Ferrell, uh, dressed up as Buddy the Elephant and attended a hockey game. Nobody like really knew why, but it went all over the internet. It's hilarious. Let me show you the two pictures here. So there's one. He's got a candy cigarette. Like this is a fake candy cigarette. He's all scruffy looks distraught. Here's another one.
Oh
Him,
my
him, him
God.
drinking a beer.
I
And
love
and,
this.
like, these pictures went crazy, and people, like, made so many jokes, so many different memes was made, and finally, he was, talking one day or here recently on I think it was the interview he was doing, he's like, here's kind of the backstory behind it." He's like, talking to my wife and was like, it would be kind of fun to see what reactions we get. He's like, I'm not going to. He told her, he's like, I'm not going to shave for a week. He's like, I'm going to buy a fake candy cigarette. He's like, and we're just gonna sit and attend this hockey game. And he's like, I'm just gonna act like Buddy the Elf has had a really rough year. Things aren't really going well for him. He's just kind of distraught. And we're going to attend a hockey game for one period and kind of leave and just see what happens with it. And I am so glad he did this. Like,
Bruh, like, especially because of, like, how the world is right now, like, that's kind
yes,
of what we needed. Like, we're all kind of a
yes,
little bit distraught. Just a little bit. Like, I
yeah,
mean, things are crazy, and, sometimes you just need to laugh, and that worked. That
yes.
worked. It is what it like, I can't believe he
It was
actually went out to
brilliant.
get a candy cigarette because those things are disgusting.
Oh
Like,
god, yeah.
they're
Oh,
absolute
so
but,
nasty.
like, what would kids do? Kids fucking love those things because they're
Right.
like little
And
candy
Buddy the
cigarette
Elf
and
has that mindset. Like that's
yeah.
something he would do. But
And, like, the
no,
same thing with, like, Smarties and you just, like, smash them up. But
yeah.
yeah.
But no, I think it was clever. I think it was brilliant. I think it was. I'm so glad. I'm just so happy he did this.
Yeah.
Let's see. Next on the list, some John Wick news. So I need to get caught up on watching the John Wick movies, and I hate to even say that I've not seen them all, but I need to get ready to watch them very very soon because
Mhm.
we have the spinoff Ballerina coming out with Anna de Armas, and
Mhm.
there's actually a new photo that was leaked. Not leaked. It was actually from USA Today that actually released this. Uh, I'm loving the color scheme going on in this. From what I've heard, like she put in the effort and the energy to really nail this role. So it's super talked about on the internet. Like so many people are excited to see this. I'm also wondering how many spinoffs and movies are going to do with John Wick at the same time. But I think this would be good, and I think it's good, to have something not focus so much on Keanu Reeves and John Wick. Give a little break because this is a character from one of the previous movies that we've seen. So this, I think this is it's going to be telling her story on this path of revenge that she is taking. But
Mhm.
yeah, have you
Yeah.
seen all the John Wick movies?
Yeah, I have. I haven't seen the Peacock original Continental
Yeah,
show
the
that
Continental. I
happened.
actually started watching that, but have not finished it.
Yeah, I haven't seen any of it
Mhm.
because I completely forgot about it until Ballerina was coming out, and I was like, I totally like I remember commenting on it saying like, ah, I totally never would have thought that they would have done like a spin-off of John Wick, but here it
Yeah,
is, and I'm here for it. And then someone was like, so the Continental, and I was like, oh my God, I
yeah.
completely forgot that that was a thing.
So, I'll have
Um,
to completely restart it because it's been a minute since I did start it, but I will tell you
yeah.
this, from what I remember, I enjoyed it. Like, I thought it
Yeah.
wasn't bad from what I remember,
They have
so.
like two seasons of that, don't
Oh,
they?
does
I
it?
know
I
they
didn't
at
realize.
least have I know they at least have two.
Okay.
Um, because I remember it coming out, people talking about it, and then it
Yeah.
getting renewed. I don't know if it has more than two.
So, I didn't finish the first season, and it's just an accidental thing. It's one of those things where you kinda let it slip through the cracks.
Yeah.
So next on the list, a little comic relief here. We have we I love Jimmy Fallon. Like him starting, doing a talk show, late night talk show or whatever is probably one of the best things he could have ever done for his career. I follow him on TikTok and the stuff that he does with celebrities is so freaking funny and great. But him and Jamie Lee Curtis recreated the iconic workout scene from what, 40 years ago, I think 40 years ago with her and John Travolta. Like,
Yeah.
there's not a year that this scene, like from her and John Travolta, doesn't come across as like a funny TikTok or a meme that someone's making. So it's super iconic. But her and Jimmy Fallon decided to recreate this, and I've got a couple of 13-second clips here I want to show because it's just too funny not to share. So let's take a look at these real quick. And here's the one. Actually, I meant to play this one first, but here's the one where the pizza scene's happening. I am so dead.
I want so much pizza right now. I want a
Yeah,
cheese
yeah.
pizza right now. Like,
It's funny too because like there is certain gyms. I don't. I don't. It's not Planet Fitness, is it? Where they do like is it a pizza party or a donut deal that they do for like so the Planet Fitness is around here. They may not do it anymore. I don't know, but there for a while. Like if you went on Fridays to the gym, like they had
mm,
pizza or donuts in there for like you just to eat and grab. And I'm like,
what
that's smart because you're feeding them
I
bad stuff and
yes.
keeping people to keep coming back to work it off. But that's what made
I
me think
I
of
mean,
that.
I have a Planet Fitness membership, and out of all the times that I've been there, I
Yeah.
have never seen food
Well, I haven't
at
heard about
all.
it or seen it lately, but I wanna say like
Mm,
4 it could be like 3 or 4 years ago is when I heard about this. I was like,
yeah.
interesting. Interesting.
I would that would make me so happy because I would work out and then I would grab it on my way out
Yeah. Yeah, so, like,
because
people
I'm
love it.
rewarding myself.
Right, yeah, and that's kinda what they did was they're rewarding, but at the same time, like, like, to me, I'm like, "Mm, feed them bad food so they keep coming to the gym to work it off." That's pretty smart. But, yeah, so they're toward the end of that scene where there's, like, a giant bulge on Jimmy Fallon. He actually, like, pulls out a dove and lets a dove fly away that was in his pants.
Oh my
But,
gosh.
if you have not seen the full scene, go look it up. It's hilarious. It's so freaking funny. Uh I'm so glad they did that. I didn't know we needed this, but we needed this. It's just like the Buddy the Elf thing. We needed this.
Yeah.
But last on the list for all you Scream lovers out there, Scream 7 is now filming. Uh, I've not even seen the latest Scream movie.
No, but
And
is this supposed to be the Wayland brothers that are doing this or
I don't know. I don't think so. Is it?
oh, I don't
Uh
remember. I remember reading that they were going to revamp the
oh, no.
Screams.
They're revamping this scary movie franchise.
A scary movie, different than
Yeah,
Scream.
yeah, yeah.
That's
Yep.
right. But
Yeah,
they
yeah.
just had a scary movie
Oh,
that
you're
had
you're
a
you're
Scream
thinking
mask in
yeah,
it.
yeah, 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 yeah.
Oh my
That's what you
gosh.
mean.
I have
Yeah.
never I don't think I've ever seen a Scream movie then.
Oh,
Yep.
I think I've seen the first 2 Scream movies, that's it. I mean, they have a pretty hardcore, fan base, uh,
Mhm.
and I think the last one, Jenna Ortega was in, and some of the Courtney Cox maybe I think might have been back in it. Some of the original, cast is in it. I'm not
Mm.
sure who's coming back in this one, but I do know that it is now filming, so they apparently made enough money off 6, they're doing a 7.
Or there's enough fan base that they're saying, "We're gonna do it again.
Yeah, true.
Roll it back."
Yeah, we don't care if we make money, we're just doing it for the fans. Well, we know they're always doing it for the money, but,
Yeah. Yeah.
um
No, they're doing it for the money to get butts and seats.
oh, yeah, for sure. But, yeah, that kinda wraps up all of our cinema and TV shows. You ready to bring us some news on gaming?
Yes. All right. So, first thing we're going to talk about is the thing that is kind of been talked about for a while now, but it's more kind of concrete now, is that Halo. Halo is supposed to be rumored to coming to PlayStation 5 and Switch as well.
Okay.
As you guys may or may not know, Halo has been exclusively Xbox for
Right.
years. And I did get to play Halo when I had an Xbox One. Absolutely did enjoy it, but now they're kind of trying to get away from games being solely on one console, I guess.
Exclusivity
Uh,
of it, yeah.
Yeah, so Halo is the first one to kind of be making that transition. So
Okay.
it was said that the Master Chief Collection is what's gonna come to PlayStation 5 and the Nintendo Switch 2 when that comes
Hmm.
out. Again, Nintendo Switch 2 hasn't actually been like announced that it's coming out,
Right.
but and it's coming out and like at CES 2025, which was a big tech convention here in Vegas actually, that happened all of this past week, from like Monday to Friday or something. um they like one of the companies actually like reviewed it and said that like, yeah, it's actually pretty cool, and they're like, but it's not been announced, so how are you?
Huh.
And so it's been a whole thing. But
I think
Halo
it's
is
smart.
supposed to be coming. Yeah. And I don't so that's the thing, is that like Xbox is kind of like, okay, we're gonna start giving people our stuff, and PlayStation's
Right.
like, nah, we're holding on to God of War. That ain't yours. And I mean, like, PlayStation obviously is doing something because they're outselling Xbox apparently five to
Yeah.
one right now.
I believe it.
Um,
Well, I think that to keep Halo alive, and I think that's why they're doing this.
yeah.
They're doing this just to keep the Halo franchise alive, because if they didn't,
Hmm.
it probably it's close to dying off, being exclusively just for Xbox. Because crossplay has became so important for people nowadays that,
Mm,
to play with their
yeah.
friends, people are more likely now to gear towards something that's crossplay than to
Yeah.
something that's super exclusive because of the variety that so many people have now.
And there's also like games like Baldur's Gate 3 that
Mm.
is on every single platform, but it's not cosplay compatible. So then people
Mm,
like me who have friends on different like things like
right.
PC, like I did D&D games with a bunch of people, and then they play on PC and they're like, "Oh, let's play Baldur's Gate." And I was like, "It's not cosplay or crossplay compatible." So it
That's
was like,
shocking.
I
You
could get it,
they
but I
would want to
can't
do
play
that.
with you. Yeah, so that was the last time that I've now talked to them about that, and that's unfortunate because now I'm
Oh,
like,
wow.
that would have been so cool,
Yeah.
but like we couldn't. So yeah.
Dang.
But anyway, that got depressing real fast. But
Yeah.
anyway, so things that aren't as depressing. Lenovo Legion Go. So at CES 2025, they came out with this, which is the Legion Go. I believe this is the S.
Mhm. SS.
No, 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 no. Hold on, put it back up.
Yeah.
So that's the two.
Oh, okay. That's
Um,
listed as the S.
Sorry.
No, no,
So
you're good.
this is the two, and it's the back of it. So this is going to be a Windows 11 like on the go type game console that you can use.
Mhm.
And it's like still a work in progress. It isn't like out yet.
Okay.
And then the other picture that I have loaded in there is it's the picture of the two on the bottom and then the S on top. So if you look really closely at the picture that's on top, you can see that the handles are removable, like the little sides are
Oh.
removable,
Okay, okay.
just like the Switch. And that one is the first ever PC gaming like handheld device
Mhm.
that has Steam OS on it. So you can actually like have Steam games and you can like buy them like on the actual console itself.
Mm.
Um, and these were all announced at CES 2025. So the
I like the
S,
looks of that. Like, I like the shape of
oh,
it.
yeah, no, it's very much like a you can like hold it and like walk
Right.
around with it, which is great. Like you can feel like the grip and stuff. So the Legion Go S has the removable handles, like I said. It has that 8-inch screen display, and
Mhm.
it's gonna launch this month for like $730.
Ooh.
Which I
Ooh.
mean, if you think about all the graphics and everything
Sure,
that they
sure,
had to put
sure.
into it, the graphic cards,
Right.
the like everything that goes into it, it makes sense.
Yeah.
Um,
This isn't your
but
Nintendo
the
Switch is what they're saying. Yeah.
right, it's something that you can do on the go, and it like I don't know what the capability of like Wi-Fi, or if
Mhm.
like you have to like get like a kind of like a pass, and then I don't
Hmm.
really know how that works.
Right.
Because like with PC, you have to like be plugged in with an
Yeah,
Ethernet
what would
cable
be
or
cool
Wi-Fi.
is if they actually structured that almost like a cell phone with a
Mhm.
built-in cellular data thing.
Right.
That would be pretty sick.
Yeah.
You could play off cellular data, and it has the built-in transmitter in it, so you could play it wherever you're getting tower service.
Yeah, and I don't really know like if they would want to do that, because with the amount of resolution and
Yeah.
like online games,
Sure.
like you have to think about lag and stuff.
True. It may
So
actually
I
create
don't
more
know.
issues, create way more issues than you
Right.
want.
Exactly.
Well,
So like I
I thought
think
that
it
was cool. I'll take that back.
I'm sorry.
No.
It is, it is like maybe later on down the line, like something that maybe they can do, like where
Right.
you would add that to like it's another device. Like you know how you have like family plans? Well, maybe you have a
Mhm.
gaming plan and
Right.
you have like your phone on it, and now you also have like your portable PC that you're walking around with. But the Legion Go 2 is still a work in the progress. It's a less expensive model. It's going to come out in May for like either $500 or $400. There's
Hmm.
been like two different prices, and I can't really tell which ones are which yet. It's supposed to have a finger reader like on the back of it apparently, and it's going to
Okay.
have like bigger speakers than the S. But the S is like so much more talked about right now just because it is the first ever
Right.
handheld device that has that Steam OS, which is pretty cool. So the next thing that's on my gaming news that I want to talk about, so the next couple of things are actually talked about. I'm going to talk about are were things that were announced at CES 2025.
Okay.
So this is called Project Ariel by Razer, and what it is a um, the world's first ever integrated heating and cooling mesh gaming chair.
Wow.
So
Okay.
super dope to look
Okay.
at, and they have like fans that are going to be on the bottom, and it's going to have like these like it's going to push warm air
Uh,
out to you, so when it's like colder you can have like
sure.
heat, and when it's colder or when it's like hot and you want it to be a little bit colder,
Yeah.
it can cool you by like 2 to 3 degrees Celsius, I think is what it said. But again, this is concept only.
Okay.
And the big thing with Razer is that like they haven't really apparently been able to uphold their concepts and actually making them. They have really great concepts, and then like they
Mm,
don't make them. So take this with a grain of salt.
sure. That looks pretty sick
You
though.
have
I mean, the
yeah,
idea of it sounds pretty sick.
yeah, it's a completely black gaming chair. It's got like little
Mm.
buttons on it that you get a
As
control of like
long as
hot
it's
or cold.
comfortable. As long as it's comfortable, because
Oh, it's
you
a
don't want to.
mesh gaming chair. It's going to be super comfortable. It's
Okay.
supposed to be. Like, I
Yeah.
mean, mesh gaming chairs are always really comfortable. That or like the super cushioned ones, but then you
Mhm.
couldn't really heat those
Right.
the same way.
Yeah.
But those might actually already have like a you plug it in like to the
Mhm.
wall and it's like whatever. But this one looks like it's wireless thus far. But this is again concept only,
Sure.
and it could be completely different or not even come out at all. So take that with a grain of salt. The next thing that I want to talk about is that Sony during CES 2025 made a kind of like a smell and visual immersive display of The Last of Us.
Hmm.
Um, so they debuted it like last year, where they called it a like a Smello games or Smello something,
Uh-huh.
which was like really cool, but it didn't really do what they wanted it to do. But this one apparently turned out super great. And that next photo, that's like CES 2025 that I put in there, is
Uh-huh.
what it actually looked like. So this is what people looked like walked
Oh,
into. So this
wow.
isn't something that is able to obviously move around. It's something that they specifically built just for um, CES 2025 to kind of show
Uh,
people what they're doing. But eventually, what they want to do is that they want to have it come out of the controller.
okay.
So it's going to be an all around immersive experience. So The Last of Us is an apocalyptic type game. So
So,
you're going to be
that's pretty
smelling.
sick. I like this idea, but, like, so, it makes you wonder though, like, so if they ever incorporated this right into homes, like on
Mhm.
your regular controllers and everything,
Yeah.
how would you continuously keep that smell for years to come unless you have like a refillable cartridge that's built into the bottom of your controller that you would have to slide in, and then after a while it tells you when it's empty and you put the cartridge, refillable, not
Yeah.
refillable,
I
but
don't know.
disposable cartridge. That to me, that's like the
Yeah.
only thing like that would you would think that would work, because I don't think there's anything that would be built inside of that that would continuously forever, you know, give you a poofy
Yeah, but
smell.
then there's like different smells. So like you're gonna smell
Right.
something completely different from Horizon,
No, you're
where it's like
right.
an adventure, like forest game,
How would
as
you do
compared
that?
to The Last of Us, which is an apocalyptic. If you kill something, it's probably gonna smell bad.
Oh god,
So
yeah, yeah. Huh.
like, cause can you imagine like killing a clicker and then
Right, right, yeah. Have
the
a
aromas that
fungi
you would
smell.
get? Yeah, yeah. So, I
Interesting.
don't know how they would do it, but
Yeah.
they've proven that it's something that they can do. Now they
Mhm.
have to just get it into a smaller and now into the controller. I don't know. It's like exciting because it's
Yeah,
like
yeah, no, it
something
is
new.
exciting for sure.
Yeah. So, Sony also announced during this point in time that they're gonna have upcoming movies for Helldivers 2 and Horizon Forbidden West.
Mhm.
And then they also are going to have a Ghost of Tsushima, um, specifically anime that's just coming out on Crunchyroll, and that's supposed to coming out in like 2027. But they announced all these things at this convention.
Okay.
So PlayStation kind of felt a little bit out of the loop because they weren't really able to be there and like I guess like do the things. So they wanted to be relevant, and they announced the Midnight Black Collection. So you can pre-order it on the 16th, and
Okay.
it's going to be available for February 20th, 2025. So this year. Sorry. So if you look at all the things that they had a the portable remote controller, which was
Mhm.
the handheld that you got to see, and that's going to be $200. The Pulse wireless earbuds, so not the headphones, but the
Right.
earbuds themselves, those are going to be $200 as well. The wireless headset, that's going to be $150. And then the really cool thing that I wanted to get a close up of was that wireless controller. Because if you look closely at the back of it, it's got those, you can set like how far down you want your trigger responses to be, and that's what
Oh,
those
wow.
slides are. So right now it's in the middle, so that's going to be normal, right?
Uh-huh.
I think if you go down, it's going to be like a short hairpin type trigger, and then if you go up, it's going to go like all the way down. So then you're going to have the
Hmm.
different ways that you can play. If you
Uh-huh.
want rapid fire, kind of the same thing with like machine guns. Like you have auto, and then you have like um, the burst.
Yeah, right, right.
So, if you have like a
Kinda like a three-round
trigger that
burst.
goes like faster, yeah, then
Mhm.
you can get more off, but in a faster period of time.
Hmm.
So that's going to be $200 as well. So I thought like all of those was like really cool,
Yeah,
and I
I
was like,
wouldn't
okay,
so
this
so, like, have you ever used the PS5 earbuds?
no,
Me
absolutely.
neither.
I hate earbuds, and
Oh,
I
okay, okay.
can't put things inside my ears.
Okay. So, like, I love my he I love I have a SteelSeries, headset, and I love it, but then, like, I'm not gonna lie, I love earbuds because, like, I hate the like, if you're wearing headphones and you gotta go out, like, I gotta go refix my hair, right? So, but, I
I
do
just let it do what it do. Like I'm like, meh.
but so I do love, like, just listening to music, like my Samsung earbuds, but then I was like, "Man, I wonder, like, how good the quality is of for one, the sound, but then also
Mm,
how good the quality is of not having something that's a mic here to talk into, and how well
yeah.
the earbuds mic picks your voice up." Because, like, if it's really good on both ways, I've actually thought about investing in them, because me personally, I like the idea of that.
Okay.
So I was just
Yeah.
curious, like, if you've experienced them or not, but sounds like that's a negative.
No. Yeah. Any like so even the headphones that I get, I specifically get over the ear
Mhm.
like headphones because my ears are super sensitive. Like I have this is like weird off topic, but like I have piercings in my ears, right? So I
Mhm.
have like my first hole that I've had since I was a baby, and I got the second hole when I was 16.
Mhm.
And I can't use that second hole because like anytime I put anything like any earring in it, like my ear gets inflamed and red, and
Mhm.
it's like, nope, you can't wear those earrings.
Sure.
Um, super unfortunate, but my ears are like super sensitive, so I can't put anything inside of them, like earbuds. Like I can't do it.
Gotcha.
Which is why I haven't gotten any other cool like piercings on my ears because I thought it would be cool, but I can't because my ears are too sensitive.
Makes sense.
So
I
it's
mean, it
just a
makes
waste of
sense.
money at this time.
Yeah, I'm
So
just
the last,
scared to invest in them and
yeah.
like, and then hate them, so I'm trying to find
Well,
somebody who's tried them out.
I feel like if you get these and they don't work out for you, there's got to be some type of return policy.
True. It's just I know it gets weird with electronics. Some places can be weird with electronics, so
Yeah, I mean, I guess get them from like Walmart,
yeah,
and
guaranteed though.
whereas like if you try to get them from like GameStop, you know they're gonna try to be like, oh, it's a credit
Oh, yeah.
thing. We don't
Oh,
give you
yeah,
your
for
money back.
sure. Yeah.
So you choose or Target. Target's also like a really good like. So
There you
this
go.
is like available online for you to pre-order, but also like
Mhm.
they're
You're gonna be in storage
retailers.
too.
So
Nice.
yeah, so you can do either or. But I'm sure there's like videos out there, and these aren't the first ever earbuds that they've had
Oh, yeah, they're
come
not.
out.
They're not.
So
Because that's why I've been wondering about them. Because like, this is the first time I've heard about these, which if I do like earbuds, I probably wanna go with these, but, yeah.
yeah. Um, so the last thing that we're going to talk about for our gaming news is something called Marvel Rivals. Now, this is something that I have talked about before, but I wanted to bring it up again because it's been doing amazing. So season one has been doing so well that it's surpassed like everybody's expectations.
Mhm.
Um, like the producers of it, the people that are like playing it, they're like, this is absolutely insane. It's like Overwatch 2.0, but better apparently. Because Overwatch 2.0 was Overwatch 2 and it was trash.
Yeah, I'm surprised,
Um,
like, how much, like, chatter I'm still constantly seeing since this dropped. Like, people are just I keep seeing every day I come across something where people are talking about it, and it's been nothing but positive.
Yeah, the character gameplay has been great. The way that you can like actually use the characters, like apparently that's been great. The maps themselves have been beautiful. Of course, it's
Mhm.
a Marvel like affiliated
Sure.
game, so you already have like so many characters. Like they at season one, they already released all of the Fantastic Four
Mm,
characters, like for example, and then you have like tank, healer, support, and some other strategist, I think.
okay.
Is that like last one? And so you have like different categories of what you can play. So I'm really excited to get into this. I've downloaded it and I haven't played it yet.
Mhm.
And it's something I'm probably actually going to play after this. I'm going to go to the store, get some stuff, and then come back and then like
Nice.
totally not leave the house at all. Um, but I wanted to also bring it up because they have a leaked five new heroes that are going to be coming out. So you got Professor X and you have Colossus from your X-Men. We also have Locust and Jia Jing, who's got like butterfly like flappy wings, fairy wings, I guess, or whatever. She's got like wings. So we're like wondering if she's gonna be able to actually like fly. And
Mhm.
then where you see the Trapster, so who that is Pot Pete. I don't really know anything about that other than probably that he's gonna set traps. Like he's got
Right?
paste, so it's like toothpaste looking. I don't know, but it like maybe it acts as
Oh my
like
god.
gum paste or something. So like people like walk in it and then they get stuck for a second or two before they can like run away.
It's an interesting character for them to throw in there.
Yeah, I mean, like I like that they have so many different characters and you have different skins and you
Mhm.
have different things that you can do with the game to get what you want out of it. Um, and the fact that they already have like new characters coming out and they have like even more characters that they haven't even leaked yet that are
Right?
supposedly coming out. It makes you think that like it's been doing so well that they've been putting time and effort into it, and it is a free to play game, but you can buy a season pass and
Okay.
get like extra skins or extra characters um for that season.
Sure.
So
So,
you
I
know
mean,
that they're at
it's
least
smart.
getting something out of it. Yeah. enough that they're like developing and designing more stuff.
Right.
But yeah, that's it for gaming. You ready to get into some con spotlight?
Let's do it. So this week, Big Lick Comic-Con in Roanoke, Virginia, February 1st and 2nd. Man, got a pretty good lineup. So apparently Big Lick does quite a few cons. I think they run 7, and I think they're like mostly on like the east side of the country that they run these.
Okay. Yeah.
But yeah, so Big Lick Comic Con, Roanoke, Virginia. Like I said, it looks like a good time. They're going to have some pretty decent lineup on cast. Like so, they're doing the original cast of the 1987 Ninja Turtles in April O'Neil. That's going to be there.
Nice.
Yeah, and then they're going to have the actors from Pinky and the Brain, Rob
Oh
Paulson
my
and
God.
Maurice LaMarche. Yeah, and let's see, Bulk and Skull from the original Power Rangers and other Power Rangers that was there. Jason Narvey and Paul Schreier. I've actually met Jason Narvey. Super cool dude. Let's see. And then Michael Cutlitz. He played Lex Luthor in Superman and Lois, and then also Abraham in The Walking Dead. And none other himself than Ming Chen,
A
who we've had on the show as well here. And huge supporter in the podcasting world. Has multiple podcasts that he runs for people and has his own. So
mm,
yeah, pretty good lineup. There's other lineups there. There's going to be other comic artists and writers that's going to be there as well. Good times, good times. I didn't really see a list. They didn't, for some reason, like as big as they are in multiple places they have, they didn't have like a list of like a schedule of other panels and events that's going on. But I did find
yeah.
one thing that is happening there that I'm like, okay, I think this would be fun to watch, maybe fun to even enter in. But they are doing a air guitar competition. Uh,
Bruh.
yeah. And I think it's based around Metallica, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, it's
Uh,
the winner gets tickets to go see Metallica.
yeah. So I'm like, you know what? This is pretty sick because, like, there's gonna be people go all out, like just air guitar it, and then like for them to give away specifically for this Metallica tickets, I'm like,
Yeah.
this is epic. This is pretty good. I don't think I've ever heard of this. So like, I think that
Yeah,
would be so
so
fun.
what it looked like was it's actually both days. So the first day is like your qualifying rounds where
Okay.
they like choose
Hmm.
people, and then the second one is like when they actually choose like the finalists or whatever. So I'm
Gotcha.
like, all right. So do you get to have props? Like obviously air guitar, no guitar, but
Right.
can I get like one of those like hand fans and then just like
Right.
make my
Right.
hair like do the thing like with that?
Well,
Can
then
you
also
do
too,
that?
it would be great, like, these people I mean, people's already cosplaying there, right? But to enter in this, you have to dress like an '80s rock hair band or something like that, or something like I don't know. That would be hilarious. But because like, here's the deal, if you did do that, even if it wasn't required, your more chances of winning it just increase by
Oh yeah,
quite a bit.
because your air guitar looks that much more
Right. You're right.
guitar.
Yep. You're putting the vibe out there more so.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
yeah,
No, big hair band in general. So like you got like
oh, yeah.
Bon Jovi and you got
Yeah.
Kiss and you I mean
White
like
Snake. Like
yeah. Oh man.
But yeah,
No,
I think this would be a fun con to attend. Pretty. It
mhm,
looks like it's about a medium sized con, not small but not big.
mhm.
So yeah, Big Lick Comic Con, Roanoke, Virginia, February 1st and 2nd. But pretty
Pretty
much
neat.
wraps us up this week for episode 23.
Yeah.
We'll see everybody later.
Peace.